Okay, so how can we have a chain rule for two variables and each variable contains two parameters? So in this case, in general, they give you z is the function of u and v. Then u is the function of x and y, g x and y, and then v is the function, another function in terms of also x and y. So for the chain, okay, so who is the first variable, the boss? So it is z, right? So under the z there are u and v, and under u and v there are two, which is x and y. Okay, so now how can we develop the chain rule? So look at here. So here, how many path? So the path is actually 2. Only this one plus this one. Okay, but then under the u there are 2. So now it is more complicated chain rule, but it's fine. Okay, now you just focus on the whether we have to use del or d. So now from z to u, there are two variables on the same layer, right? U and v. So we should use del z over del u, and this one del z over del v. And then from u to x also there are two paths. So meaning that you have to use a partial, not the d. You have to use del. So del u del x, del u del y, and also this one del v del x, and this one del v del y. Or you can also use zv, and this one you can also use zu. So this one ux, and this one is uy, and this one is vx, and this one is vy. Okay, so now to get the okay, so because of you have two variables here. So your lowest variable or parameters, there are two. So meaning that you cannot just have del z del x only. You have because this is partial, right? You have two parameters. So the possible derivative that you can have for this particular function, del z del u, and also del z del the last one, the lowest parameters is x and y, not u and v, sorry. So the lowest parameter is x and y. So that's why you can have to chain rule here, because your parameters, there are two. Your lowest parameters. Okay, I'm talking about lowest parameter, two, more than one. So last time you have only t. So that's why you have dz over dt, just single. Okay. So how can we have the del z del x? In this case, now first we construct the del z del x. So look at this one. You want to get through x. So you want to pass through from z. You want to go to u from z to x, right? So from z you have to pass through u, and then after that x. So that is your path. And also you have another path to go to x, which is using v. So from z you go to v, and then from v you go to x. So meaning that you must have two paths, which is depending on these two. You must have two terms, which means depends on these two paths. Okay, so the first term is this path. So from z to u, you have del z del u, and from u to x, you have del u del x. That is your first term. And then second term, which is plus. So from you want to go to x, so you have to go from Z to V. So you have del Z del V. And from V to X, you have to have del V del X. Okay, or you can have is in more simpler form, you can have Z U U X plus Z V V X. That is your formula. Okay, now that is for ZX. So now how about the del Z del Y? So we use the same idea. So you want to go from Z to Y. Then you have two paths, from Z to U, U to Y, plus from Z to V, V to Y. So you have del Z del, now you have same del Z del U as well, same del Z del U. But then from U to Y you have del U del Y. The second term using V, so del Z del V del V del Y. Or in a simpler form, Z U U, okay, Z U U Y plus Z V V Y. Because this one is for X and this one for Y. So that is the formula. That's why you got this. Now look at if you have more complicated, which means that now you have three variable function. So each of the U, each of the variable, there are three parameters. Now we want to see what is the chain rule looks like. But maybe to start with, you have to develop the chain. Then from the chain, you can get the rule. Okay, so now based on this one in general. So W is the function of U, V, R. Okay, and then your V is the function G, which is in terms of X, Y, Z. And then V is the function of H. Also contains X, Y, Z. And then your R is another function in terms of also X, Y, Z. So now how can you construct the chain? Okay, so the chain looks like W. Now you got 3 U, V, R. And then there is X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Okay, so now meaning that your partial derivatives should be 3 because you have 3 parameters there, which is X, Y, Z. So your lowest layer here, there are 3. So meaning that W can be in terms of X, W can be in terms of Y, W can be in terms of Z. So now using the chain rule, we want to find out this. So from W to X, how many paths that you can use? So you want to get here, you want to get here, you want to get here, meaning that you have to use the 3 paths. The R belongs to U, V, and R. So meaning that so how can we construct the chain rule? So W U U X plus W V V X plus W R and then R X. Similarly, you want to go to Y now. You want to go to Y, also 3 paths using U, V, and R. So W U U Y plus W V, okay, W V V Y plus WRRY. Okay, and then to get to from W to Z, then you have also three paths using view, V, and R. So you have W, U, U, Z. You can see that W, U, U, Z, W, V, V, Z, W, V, V, Z, and the last one W, R, 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 Z. So you can see from the formula there, this one, this, and they are all the same. And also for the second term, WV, WV, W also the same. And WR, WR, WR also the same. Because it's just like the middle person. Okay, you want to get through, for example, you are looking for X. So you want to go from W to X. You have to pass through these people first. So WU. So also you want to go to Y, then you have to see these people first. So W, W, U, Y. And similarly to Z, W, U, Z. So it's not so complicated, right? But then I'm sure that if you look here, so this is tremendously complicated because of the symbol. But in this one can be written in more simpler way. So hopefully you understand that. So what I'm want to say here, the understanding to get this chain rule is very important. You don't need to memorize. So it is wasting your memory space. Don't waste your time to just spend your time to memorize. So you have to understand how you can develop this chain. Even though these are not, no marks for this, but this will guide you to provide the correct answer over here, because this should be there are marks. If if the question is longer like this, maybe it will give you 2. I don't know. So depends on the rubric. I don't really know about that. So depends on this question, but this is very important. Okay. So now look at this one. So you can see here, if W is in terms of X, Y, Z, so we have 3 variables, and X, there are 3 as well, which is R, S, and E. R, S, and T. R, S, T. They are all contains R, S, T. So how can you do that? So looks like we can use this, but they use a different variable and parameter. But if you understand this, as I mentioned, don't memorize this, then I'm sure that you can do. Okay, so to answer this is test 1 question few years ago. So you are given U x4 y plus y square z cube. Okay, and your x is a function in terms of RST, RSET. And then y, r square et. And then z is r square s sine t. So be careful, don't copy a wrong question. R square s sine t. Okay. RS square et, RS et. Okay, so you're asking to get US. So to get du over u, we should use del, okay? Because we have more than 1 parameter. So del u del s. So where is the formula? Okay, now as I told you before, don't memorize. So you should understand how to obtain the chain. So the boss is u. So under the u, you have x, y, z. And then you got RST. This one also RST. And this one also RST. Okay, now the question asking for only S. Now you want to get something only S. From U, you have to go through these people and then just to get S. So how many paths to get S? 1, 2, 3. So you should have 3 terms. Okay. So now from U and getting to S, you have to have pass through this X first. So U UX XS plus U Y YS plus UZ ZS. So that is a formula. So then you have to find out UX, UY and UZ. So UX will give you okay, remember now you have 3 variables you want to differentiate only X, so Y and Z constant. So you can see the Y here multiplied by the X. So now Y is constant. You have to just differentiate X4. That will give you 4x cubed Y. How about the second term? Okay, you want to differentiate respect to X. So Y, Z constant. So here these are all constants. So when you differentiate, it is 0. Then you have to obtain U, Y. Differentiate now with respect to Y, X, Z constant. So Y, X4 here is constant. So differentiate Y, we get 1. So you will get X4. Plus, differentiate respect to Y for the second term. So Z constant. So you just differentiate Y squared. So we give you 2Y Z cubed. 2Y Z cubed. And for UZ. UZ, okay. Look at your first term here. No Z, meaning that X, Y, they are all constant. So this will give you 0 plus. So Y constant, differentiate only Z cubed. Then this will give you 3Z squared. So 3Z squared and then Y squared does not change. Okay. So you plug in X4. Okay, you have to differentiate X with respect to S. XS. So what is the answer? XS means R and T constant. R constant, T constant. Just differentiate S, you will get 1. So the answer is RET. And then YS. Just look at the S square here. Differentiate S square. You will get 2S. So 2RSET. And then ZS. Differentiate Z with respect to S. You only focus on the S here. Differentiate S, you will get 1. And the answer is R squared sine T. Then we plug in everything. So UX is so UX is 4x cubed Y, and your XS is RET plus UY. UY is X4 plus 2YZ cubed. YS is 2RSET plus UZ. Okay, UZ is 3Z square Y square. ZS is R square sine T. Okay, so that is your del U over del S. Okay, and because of they give you the value, you have to evaluate. Find the value when R2 S1 T0. Okay, so meaning that you can obtain the value of X, the value of Y, the value of Z by substituting all the RST. Okay, look at the first one, X. So R is 2, S is 1, T is 0. Okay, so substitute the value, you got 2. E0 is 1, so you got 2. X is 2. Okay, and then now look at for the Y. 2 and then 1 is 0. So you also get 2, and Z 4, 1, sine 0. Sine 0 will give you 0. So this will give you 0. So x2, y2, z0. So then you have to substitute here. Okay, so just find out where is the z. Where is the z? So this will give you 0 because z0, and this, all this will give you 0. So we only have 4, and x is 2 cubed, and y is 2. R is 2. E0 is 1. Plus x4, so 2, 4. And then 2. R is 2. S is 1. E0 is 1. Okay, then we evaluate. Okay, after I spend, and the answer is 192. Okay, so that is for this question about the chain rule.